Gentlemen, congratulations on making it to the final episode of the Imposter Disc Golf Series presented by Prodigy Discs. To set the stage for you, your pot is currently at $3,850. If you hit the line today, you'll be voting to decide if you split that. If you miss the line, $500 will be removed from the pot. And I know there was kind of some questions regarding if the imposter's not here anymore, where does that $500 go? Does it go to their pocket still? Does it whatever? You don't have to worry about that. The imposter's among you still. Good gosh.
No. Come on, man.
The imposter has made it to the finals. So, if you miss the line today, the imposter, who currently has $1,150, will go up to $1,650. If the imposter is still standing after this final vote, they will double whatever money they have, and the other three of you, whoever that may be, will go home empty-handed. You will be playing alternating hole singles. What that means is when you're on the tee alone for the entire hole. So, one of you will tee off on hole 1, you're gonna play the entire hole. The next person will tee off on hole 2, you're gonna play the entire hole. So on and so forth through the course. Once you set your teeing order, that's your order for the course. You're gonna play New London shorts with the line set at 5 over, meaning you shoot 4 over par or better, you meet the objective today. Now, the imposter obviously has a decision to make out here because they can either make you miss the line, get to $1,600, walk home, get voted out, whatever, or they can disguise themselves and just be under the radar as much as possible, hoping that they hit the line and double their money to that $2,000. So be sure when you're thinking, you remember everything that's happened up to this point. You have 4 rounds in your mind of the imposter's work. Don't forget any of those moments. Don't let just today tell the tale. But it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. We are playing the true New London OB, and you're gonna be playing from the true short tees, not the FPO mixed layout. So any hole of short tees present, you'll be playing from the short tee. Hole 1 does not have a short tee, you'll be playing from the long. I'll give you all some time, A, to digest what I just said, B, to figure out the teeing order and what you think is best.
I feel like if we are going to weed out the imposter, we have to like have a group strategy. I feel like if we as a group, like the key to getting this line is going to be keeping the disc in bounds. Yeah. I feel like we as a group need to all be very committed to keeping the disc in bounds. So much so that like if somebody throws it OB, it'd be pretty obviously against what we're trying to do, unless like it's a weird kick. Like I feel like if we have a group like strategy like that, that helps us create maybe an identity.
Yeah. Whoever tees off second has to play 6 and 18. So that is.
It will not be me.
So that is something to keep in mind.
Are we playing all 18?
All 18.
Yep.
Holy
So
smokes.
here's the interesting thing. So having to play 2 and 6 is definitely the hardest. What do you think, Mikey? Which one of those do you think is the easiest?
Bro, don't talk to me right now. I am gonna poop my pants.
I feel like either Mikey or I should probably take the 2 and 6. You throw further than me.
You hit the fairway.
But also, we are playing the short tee.
Honestly, I think the long holes go to fairway hitters, which are you two. That's my thoughts. I have a hard time on the longer holes for that reason.
Remember that I don't have much of a forehand, so
You
just
shouldn't
walk
need-
through.
So
3, 7,
3 is going to
11,
be a
15.
short backhand, like mid.
Oh, that's the slight. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
from the short tee, it's literally
Yep.
like a straight shot.
Yep.
7, you'll be throwing. It's a par 5 from up at the short tee, which is up on the left. Very easy to make birdie. Yeah, if you watched our video from yesterday,
Yep, I did.
Hunter did some interesting things in that hole. But easy to make birdie. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I like that. I like that.
guys.
First off, don't know why I called a straight there. Very unnecessary, hurt, got deep. You think I was trying to throw OB 3 times in a row?
I don't.
Secondly, here's
Actually,
your twist
kinda
for
look like you
today.
are.
A little bit of a positive twist. Today's twist is presented by Chip Locked. If you don't know what Chip Locked is, basically, as you play, you can earn different chips. Some chips help you, some chips hurt you. Today, every chip in this bag will help you. We're not gonna play by the traditional rules. I'm actually gonna give y'all a choice, an opportunity. Each of you will pick 1 chip. This will be your objective throughout the round. If you accomplish said chip, the pot increases by $200.
Oh, heck yeah!
It's just that simple. So your chips you have are scramble. So you basically, if you're off the fairway, you have to get it down for par. Eagle, someone has to get an eagle. Throw in, which is just outside of circle 2. Birdie, whoever takes this chip, whoever's in possession of the chip has to accomplish it. So whoever takes this chip has to get a birdie. Ace, if you take that, you might just be the imposter, but hey, you know.
Oh, we get to choose.
You
It's not
choose your
blind?
chip.
Oh, okay.
You choose your chip. Big putter means you hit a circle 2 putt for par or better, I'm gonna say. And then drop in, you have a drop in for par or better. Those are your chips. Choose your challenge wisely.
So birdie scramble, big putt, and drop in, I think are the easiest ones.
Right.
Because the only eagle opportunities we'll have 2 of them on 7, but I don't think we want to play that for eagle.
No.
And then on 9,
Hunter's hand is making me
which
nervous.
did you end up with 9?
Yes.
You could eagle that hole. So that's up to you. But
For most of these, you have every one of your holes to try to get it. Whereas if you choose eagle, I have 1 chance, you have 1 chance. So
Right.
let's also think too, like
18
so
to par
scramble.
5
I
as
think
well.
is
I
by
don't know if
far.
that's being
Drop in has to be for what? Par or better.
Par or better.
So drop in and
Drop
scramble
in
are the
needs to
2
be in the mix.
Those are the 2 easiest. I would
Birdie
say,
as well, I think, is in there. More
Birdie
than
needs to
eagle.
go to Gary. I think because Gary legitimately has the
Right.
birdie holes. Like
I'm-
you have 4 birdie.
I'm good
holes.
with that.
Okay.
And then big putter, I think goes to
Trevor and I are good with scrambling.
Well, if
I know
this-
that. Like, I feel good about
the
it.
scramble one. It has to be from outside circle too.
feel comfortable that you can get a drop in on a hole because that might be the one you take.
Yeah,
then.
all you have to
Whatever
do is
you
basically
guys
get
choose.
I
within
say
all
you give him
those.
drop in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because then even if
and then
Even if it's a bogey.
I'll
and he,
take
like,
big
has to lay
putter.
it for
You
bogey.
can
Has to
take
be par
scramble. I'll take big
par
putter
better.
yeah.
Par or better.
because you scramble well. I
Yeah.
do have a
I'm
decent
gonna be
jump putt
scrambling.
right now.
If you want a fun twist to your round, you can check the link in the description down below. There's a ton of different ways to play chip lock, and they also have season-long patches, which are a great time. So you can find all that and more at the link down in the description below. And if that sounds fun to you, you can actually use code FOUNDATION to get 10% off your order, and you can get free shipping on the Chip Lock website. So let's see how they attack this round. Hole 1, 395-foot par 3. OB all on the right side. We're playing again New London, not
Yeah,
neutered
real
London.
London, yeah.
Also, side note, I want
Okay.
to say frick you to someone.
Okay,
Whoever
all right.
vandalized this course. You'll notice there's no T signs out here. I don't know if it was a disc golfer or not, but someone came out here and vandalized multiple T signs, ripped benches out of the ground, and so the Parks and Rec had to come out and pull all the rest of the stuff they're worried about. So all the world signage, all that stuff's gone.
Oh my god.
So if you were a disc golfer, frick you. If you're just a local teenager, still frick you, but I understand you're still maturing and you're not an adult yet. So respectfully. 395 feet. Dead straight, OB on the right side. Luckily, I know this course well enough that I can intro the holes without T sign. So,
Nice.
all right, I believe Mikey has the first tee.
Can I get a slow clap? That's fine.
Wow.
What just happened?
I think it hit something very late.
Mikey was OB, so he's putting from right there for par. Yes, come on, Mikey.
Oh my God.
Holy cow, that was big time.
Wow. 621 foot par 4 here. We got a slow turning backhand is really the play. They want to get up close to that next manhole cover, then you'll have a hyzer into the green. This, in my opinion, is one of the par holes where you just kind of par and move on. I feel like that's the best bet. OB very tight on the right. Sometimes you have 5 or 10 feet to work with over there on that right side, and most of the time you have less than that. So if a disc goes into the right stuff, most likely OB. The mistake's definitely left. I'm saying that all to Trevor, who's about to tee off, who knows this course better than me.
I don't think I know it better than you, but we know it the same.
I'm saying that all to Trevor, who's about to tee off.
Right side, and then all of a sudden we're just kind of like, right up. And it was the right one.
I might-
that
I know,
made it
no, stop.
easier.
You know someone. God, he buttered me
So
up.
I'm thinking,
Don't turn the camera over here. I'm bored.
I'm going back to all the putts that he left lower airballed yesterday. Maybe to soften the line. I don't know.
Great shot, Trevor. You go, Trevor. Good shot. All right. Great shot, Trevor.
There you go, Trevor. Good shot.
All right, I can birdie from there. We can birdie from there. It did. What did
Phenomenal shot. You're way up there.
Oh,
Forward
You
straight.
got like a forward left. All right, Mikey, it's time for a prodigy check-in, the first of the round.
Yep.
You were just given the information on the tee. The imposter is still present.
Yep.
How does that make you feel? And also, how does it make you feel knowing your voting previously was just innocent people?
Yeah, that's tough. That was really tough. I actually talked with the guys this morning who are still in it, and I said, because I'd already said that I was going to give my parts of the player proceeds to what I thought were going to be, 3 of the 4 guys in the Airbnb. And so I had said, if we do it today, I was going to split it with the 2 guys that I did wrong. If the imposter was still among us, and I just really did not think that that was going to be the case. I can't even think about who it is, honestly, because I trust every one of these guys.
If you does your heart lean in a certain direction at all, or are you just relying on today?
Yes. So Trevor and Gary's so nice. He could totally do it if he wanted to, but he's like the nicest guy here, and he's like so calm and collected. It's hard for me to know. It's hard for me to know. It's like, is it just the nice guy? Is it, Trevor seems to be really kind of taking the lead on things and kind of pressure off of him. Whereas I think for us players, we know like this was like a hurtful thing that just happened at the first tee, like figuring that out, whereas Trevor moved on like instantaneously. So that's stuck in my mind right now. We'll see what happens. He throws good shots though.
Miss it. All right. All right. That should be like circles that.
So Larkin told me to vote for me, and that helps me trust you so much more. Because if you were the imposter, why would you vote for me? Being the worst player here makes 0 sense. I know it's not me. I know it's not you.
Hole 3, we're looking at about 300 feet, dead straight. There's OB on the right side yet again. 1 under through 2 is a phenomenal start. Hole 2 definitely is a bonus. Hole 1, a par is always very solid on there with the OB. So we're looking dead straight here. Once you get close to the basket, there's a little bubble where the OB is probably about 25 or so feet right, but you definitely kind of want something that just gets up there, hyzers to the left, and gives you a putt. Gary's tee.
Don't be afraid to go up to a fairway if you need to.
Yeah,
Like you're not gonna, if you're playing something that's gonna fade anyways, you're not gonna blast it long.
I have the disc that I feel the most comfortable throwing, but it's gonna probably end up being a little short, so it's gonna be a bit of a putt.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine. Totally fine. That's it. You lay that up, take the par.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
First one of the day, I didn't want to press it and go OB.
Yeah. Great shot, Gary.
All right, time for another prodigy check-in. We have Gary here. Obviously, first tee, bomb drop. Imposter's still present. A, where does that put your mind? Kind of where are you thinking? And then B, how does it make you feel knowing your votes have sent home innocent people up to this point?
I definitely feel bad that people who weren't the imposter had to go home, but with 8 people, the statistics of the imposter being among them was good enough. It's like, you have to send people home. We can't come out on this course with 6 people and 7 people, because then the odds of the imposter walking out of here with cash is really, really high. I feel terrible that they had to go, and the tension in the room was palpable yesterday when 2 people were eliminated. I mean, that's kind of how the game is played. I mentally prepared myself last night for what if the imposter's still in? What if Hunter tells us that? You know, I'm not surprised by it because 50% chance that the imposter was in our group. I'm a numbers guy, so it's like now I just got to figure out who it is. But I think the mistake that I can't make is looking at the first few holes and trying to decide who the imposter is. I can't overthink it right now. We have a lot of time to play out here.
Do you have any suspicion? Are you leaning towards anyone right now? Or?
I would say that if it's Mikey, it is going to be the biggest villain arc we've ever seen on a YouTube video. It is what it is. I've had a lot of good like heart-to-hearts with Joel. He and I have like similar backgrounds, talking about like, you know, growing up in the church and stuff. And so if he's playing me and he's the imposter, then well, he got me. He got me big time. I'm probably like Trevor's first on my list. I'd say it's Trevor like 40%, Joel like maybe 10%, and then Mikey is below even Joel. I mean, what point did Mikey have to make that huge putt on hole 1 today? You know, he could have laid that up short, hit the basket, and said, sorry guys, and we would have said, great run, nice try. But he made it.
286-foot par 3 here. Typically it's a flex forehand. There's no OB to worry about here. Early left's the only bad miss. If you get in enough to the right, up there it's pretty forgiving. And then you can just get up and down, try to take your par and move on. They're in a phenomenal spot right now. Obviously we're about to enter the belly of New London, the teeth of it on these next few holes. So getting a par here or a possible birdie, that definitely would be beneficial going to the next few holes.
Now, Hunter, I don't know about you, but I don't have teeth in my belly.
Really? How do you chew your food?
Yeah, that would be okay. Oh, that might be good. I think that's really good. I think 8's 25 and in, I would say. Oh my goodness, that was stone cold.
Really interesting change of tune this morning because people have been very much on my side, and I think people have finally gotten to this point of fight or flight where they don't know what to do, that I've now heard 2 people literally say to my face that they suspect me just because I've played this game so many times, and I think they're scared of getting burnt. And that's interesting because like that has not been the discussion, and I think that just there's so much desperation in the air right now that they're just like trying to protect themselves from that. It's very annoying, but I don't know if I can avoid it. And this is early in the day. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the vibe
people
right
are
now.
Realizing there's like, this is real money on the line. Like,
it is getting very heavy.
Hole 5 up here, we have a par 4. Mikey's on the tee, love that. We got OB on the left, OB up on the right. There's a retention pond there. Mikey's got plenty of distance to carry it. Don't know if he's gonna decide to, a little bit of a risky play. The OB follows up to the woods and then curves off to the left, and the basket's almost dead straight ahead of the tee pad. This could be a birdie hole. They're also sitting at 1 under after Joel's par save there and Trevor's great birdie on 2. So 1 under through these first few holes. You're this is a little bit of a decision hole because you can just say, hey, let's play par, be 1 under through 5, or we can hit the gas, be 2 under going into hole 6, which obviously when it shows its teeth can really show its teeth. And you know, hole 7, you can take big numbers on. Okay? Let's just put it out there.
Some
people can take big numbers on hole 7. We'll see what happens.
That might be
It
safe.
came out. If it rolled, I think it's either okay or it went OB left.
There is a universe where that ended up being okay, but that was...
What in the world, dude? I ripped that.
A little bit of an interesting decision to go for it there. I understand it. He has plenty of distance, but going with a really flippy driver was completely against what I would have thought. No, not too surprised to see a cut roll. Very important up and down here. Also get some suspicion on him for sure.
2 OB strokes for Mikey, but if he can save par, that will definitely help his case.
I can either go right at it, or I can pull it out wide on Anheuser, which I like a little bit better, maybe.
No one's listening to you, Mikey. Everybody's just talking about you. Wow, Mikey.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, Mikey. That was insane.
Who? Trevor. Like, as soon as I walked up there, as soon as I missed that, he turns around and starts talking.
Yeah.
It's suspicious.
At some point here, we're gonna see if he starts approaching people and starts having conversations.
This would count towards my scramble, though, right, guys?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness.
All right, we got the prodigy check in here with Trevor. Obviously, hole 1 dropped a little bit of a bomb. The imposter's still among you. So I want to know first off kind of what that did to your mindset, what you're thinking there, and then also how you feel knowing everyone you voted for so far was basically innocent and you're sending home.
Yeah, that's crazy. I honestly, I think it definitely says a lot about where the imposter, if they've done anything, where they've taken their chances, because I thought the people we voted out previously, if the imposter was being obvious, that was the most likely candidate. I think there's still cases you can make for these guys, but at the end of the day, I think what's happening and what I'm reading in the room right now, they're getting desperate. They're not sure where to turn, and therefore they're looking to me because I've played this game the most. I think they're just nervous about me, and so I think it's actually put me on the back foot just as somebody who is now getting attention drawn to them, because I don't think these guys know what to do at this point. And I'm in the same boat. I have zero idea where I would cast a vote. You have to just try this. You have to try and play for the imposter. This isn't about narrowing down the field, getting rid of the weak link. We got one chance at this to get rid of the imposter, or that money is gone. So it's very high pressure, and it's going to come down to these guys' gut feelings, and it's going to be really, really hard.
Well, where is your head at as far as the imposter? Are you leaning towards anyone in particular, or are you watching this round to decide?
I'm still trying to sift through it. Like I said, I think I can build a case for each of them. I think Mikey has probably played furthest beneath his skill level. Yesterday was pretty bad for him. Joel, I think, has played pretty standard for what he's capable of, but I think he's made a lot of great putts that he didn't have to make. I think he's probably the safest in my mind. Gary, I know, is a very smart guy, and so he's a guy I'm just nervous about just being very deceptive. The putts at Sandusky, they still stick in my mind a little bit, although I don't know. It's probably between Mikey and Gary at this point.
955-foot par 5 here. This is where New London a lot of times shows its teeth. Good spot, honestly, being even through 5 holes. There's OB all on the right side. We're looking probably to try to get towards that manhole cover. That gives you a hyzer second shot, and you could even at that point maybe even attack for birdie. I don't know how aggressive these guys are going to get or want to get. If you chip around, make a par here, obviously there's 12 holes of golf left after that, but you can breathe a sigh of relief. If you put yourself over par after this hole, the pressure's gonna start cooking a little bit more. Speaking from experience there, you don't want to be over par after hole 6, because then it just makes you have to get all the strokes back, and it's just not fun. Trevor, Steve.
Oh, I grip blocked it. Please get lucky.
Kick.
We're safe. We're safe. We are throwing mids from the rest of the way. We are throwing mids. Oh, bird.
All right, time for the final prodigy check-in after the hole 1 announcement. Obviously, a little bomb dropped on y'all. Imposter's still present. Walk me through where your mindset's at now in this round, and then how you kind of feel knowing everyone that's got voted off so far wasn't the imposter.
Last night, after I had some time to sit and think about it, I did not feel confident that we had the imposter, and my mind was then narrowed down to 2 people, and I'm locked in on them. It's Gary and it's Trevor. There's Gary, who's being over sincere, and there's Trevor, who I've seen play this game, and he plays it well as the imposter. So I don't know. I'm gonna be watching him like a hawk. I think I might throw up, especially when I make that vote. So get ready to clean that bag after I'm done.
All right, that's the Prodigy check-in.
Yeah, I feel good about that. How do we feel? That should be good.
Yeah, that's good. It's in the middle.
Sit down. Sit down. All right.
Good shot.
Get up.
643-foot par 5, almost like a triple island hole, more or less. You have a creek that runs through here that plays as surrounded by water OB, or really surrounded by the ravines OB. It's a pretty clearly defined line. Then there's rock bed when you're attacking the green that's OB. So you want to kind of go plop, plop. This is an eagleable hole, also a birdieable hole. This is one of the easier holes they have. Obviously that double on 6 hurts. You can get at least 1 back, possibly 2 back here. They're also still just fine. 4 over, very achievable from here. They don't even have to earn those strokes back. The back 9 plays a little easier, but as the day builds and pressure goes up, mistakes are gonna go up too. So they do need to be thinking about that. People who aren't the imposter are gonna be making a lot of mistakes too. I would personally be trying to bank at least 1 stroke here, hopefully 2.
Yeah, it's safe. It's safe.
Okay.
That's a good shot. That's a great shot, dude. Good shot.
Very good. Yeah, as long as it's that.
What a shot.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Gary.
Yes, that's gorgeous. Hunter, did you see that?
I didn't have a bird in my bag.
Oh, that's
None of my discs had enough glide.
Yeah, good hole, Gary. That was awesome. Come on, Gary Bear.
All right, hole 7, they were able to not only get the birdie there, but Gary was able to unlock the birdie chip. That was his chip that he chose. $200 has been added back to the pot, courtesy of Chip Locked.
Let's see the chip. Let's see the chip, Gary.
See the chip, Gary.
See the chip, Gary. Woo!
Let's go! The pot is back to $4,050. Par 4 here, it's about 400 feet roughly, but it plays a lot longer than that. Straight uphill, you're going straight up this alleyway, and then it's a pretty hard left. Basket's probably like 60 feet left of the fairway when you get up there. OB's this right side, basically where you see the vegetation start. There's a barbed wire fence over there. That's OB, typically pretty hard to get to, but basically just punch something up there. Honestly, if I was on this tee right now in this situation, I'd be taking my M4, just pumping it on hyzer, trusting it to flip up this hill a little bit, nestle in dead straight, and then just have a approach shot, hopefully get a birdie, be, you know, happy with the par. We'll see what they choose to do here though.
That's gonna be fine.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's fine too. That's actually totally fine, Joel.
That's great. Come back. That should be fine. That's fine. Great shot.
Yeah, good shot. Good shot. Hmm.
Sit down. I can make that.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Hole 9's about a 750-foot par 5. They have Mikey on the tee. This is an eagleable hole. There is OB on the right side. It's the tall grass and beyond. So if you're in the right stuff, you're OB. Not a super clearly defined line, so we'll make a judgment call if we have to. Hopefully we don't have to. But the basket just plays straight down here. So if you can get onto that that little hill that's up there, you typically have about 400 feet. So anything that pushes kind of up over that gives you a good opportunity for eagle. We'll see if they attack it.
It ain't worth attacking as much, but I'm gonna go stable. My most stable distance driver on hyzer, but it should like push up a little bit and push. Here we go. Embrace the pressure. Love the pressure. That's it.
That's fantastic.
Good, Mikey.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think I love the pressure now.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I thought it was gone.
Great shot, Mikey.
Fantastic shot, Mikey.
Thank goodness he didn't throw it however he wanted to.
Butter.
Big eagle for the line.
Wow.
418-foot par 3. No short tee here as we're playing from the long. That was a huge eagle. Back to
That
even
was
par on the
massive.
front 9. They'd have to do, I don't want to say this to them, they'd have to do something pretty shambolic or imposter-y to get to 4 over on the back 9. Yeah. I don't want to curse them, so I don't want to jinx them, but.
Appreciate you not cursing, Hunter.
418-foot par 3, only OB right and deep. The OB left that was here for Worlds is not a part of the normal layout. There's OB way left, but we're not even gonna think about that. We're not gonna worry about that. Just pretty much a flip-up hyzer, push it forward. Par has to be on their mind. Just par out. There's no incentive to go crazy.
That's pretty good. Sit.
That's fine.
Oh, hit trees.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yep. Tap in.
Very interesting spot in the round being even par. If the imposter is going to act, all of them I think have like 2 holes left to play. So if the imposter is going to act, they're gonna have to do something pretty crazy on those 2 holes. I have a feeling they're gonna put it in cruise control and just be like, let's hit the line and take the odds that I don't get voted out. If I had to guess, so I think that's what we're about to see is some pretty good disc golf on this back 9, just some solid shots. And then I'm thinking the imposter is just gonna hope to be camouflaged. I think that's the play I would take. What do you think, Connor?
The fact that none of them are like super sure about who they're voting
Yeah.
means that nobody's safe.
But does the
So if
imposter
I'm the
feel that?
imposter, if the imposter is feeling that, which I feel like is obvious, that nobody knows who it is, then I would just play bad, even if they know it's me, take the $500, get out.
Yeah, because that's the risk, is you're guaranteed 500 if you play really bad.
But
or you can take the risk and possibly get 1,000.
Yeah, that actually is a good point.
So it's an interesting decision to make.
Yeah,
This
you
back
came up
9,
with this game.
this back 9 will be very telling, but the voting is just going to be electric. So you're going to want to make sure you stay till the end, because I think there's going to be. I mean, Joel told me that he hopes to have some Clorox ready because he's going to throw up on the bag when he goes to vote. 425-foot par 4 here. You just play a smart layup, and then you got a tight tunnel to the basket. Par is great here. Where they're at, par is gonna be great on every hole. Pretty much, they got an easy finish. After hole 14, it means kind of just chip around. In my opinion, just kind of chip, chip, chip. Take a par. We'll see what Gary's thinking.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Amen, brother.
Oh, it's gonna get. Miss the trees.
Yeah,
Good spot.
Great shot. Great shot. Gary, are you okay?
Gary, are you okay?
Are you okay, Gary? Oh, strike
and,
close.
and now we have the Gare Bear silhouette.
Nope. Sit. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Sit. Okay. You're good. Get the next one. You got it.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's fine. That's fine, Gary. No big deal. No big deal.
Hole 12, par 3, just chilling right out there. OB right, OB left. The OB left's pretty hard to get to. It's pretty tucked in down there. They're back at 1 over. You know, the course gave them a punch, trying to recover here. Not that big of a deal. You just can't slip. Can't let them snowball. Snowballing is when stuff starts to spiral. As someone who has missed, 14 lines out here? Things can snowball quick. So hopefully this isn't one for them.
Kind of pump it
Ooh,
down the right, have it come back
That's
a little
fine.
bit.
I like the green.
Yeah, you like the
Yeah.
green and blue there?
G.I. Joel.
I couldn't hit that if I tried, so if that means anything.
That's good. That's really good, actually. Skip a little.
Great job, Joel. Great job.
They got it out.
Dang.
15 is realistically probably the only hole we're gonna birdie left, maybe.
The other part that's scary is if the imposter, we're giving them so much power coming down the stretch by being close to the line.
We're gonna see a very interesting gamble play out because if we come in close, wait a second. Here's a question we haven't even asked ourselves. What if there was a scenario where we purposely got really close to the line to see if the imposter would out themselves?
Yeah.
Because if the imposter doesn't out themselves, we have a 25% chance. But I mean, that's definitely too risky and it won't work logistically. But I'm just thinking like, at least that might, because like I actually, that would be a very interesting gamble. If we get close to the line, is somebody just going to be like, another 500s on the table, I'm taking it? Or are they going to just try to leave it to the vote?
Honestly, this round has me so confused. Like I feel one way about one person, and that hasn't changed this round at all. I feel one way about somebody else, and that is tipping during this round. But I don't know that Joel is good enough to purposely miss some of these like this. Every time I've spent, I mean, he and I have spent so much time talking, and he seems like such a sincere person, and it'd be I'd be flabbergasted if it was him.
Hole 13 here, 320-foot par 3. I forgot moving to this team made it a par 3, to be honest with you, but it makes sense because par stays 68 because they add a stroke to the short tee of 18 to make that a par 5. So this is where that stroke comes from. Makes this a really, really tricky hole. Just a tunnel shot, 320 feet. If you pure it, it's a birdie opportunity, but if you miss late.
One time I saw Jason pure this gap with the DX Valkyrie, and it inspired me to keep
Jason
going.
and a Valkyrie, no better combo. Well, yeah, it's just dead straight down there. You really want forward progress off the tee. If you hit early, like one of these first few trees is calling your name, and you end up over there, nightmare.
I've only got one straight shot. It's a forehand.
Yep.
So I don't have a choice.
Oh, yes.
No way.
Yes, no!
That's fine. You got some
Yeah.
progress.
Well,
You got through the initial.
I can scramble that. I'm gonna scramble that and make us $200.
I was just talking to Gary to try to get a read on him and just let you know he is targeting you.
Is he?
So just be aware of that. That is a real thing that's happening.
That's very interesting.
And that's not how I feel. I'm just saying that.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying
I mean,
to
I can't necessarily trust you, but, you know,
take that for what it is.
I will. I will.
We're chilling, I think?
Yeah, good shot, Mikey.
yeah,
Good
20 foot.
shot.
Yeah.
Yes, Mikey. Come on, that's 200 bucks. Back into the pot.
$100 back to the pot. They're not $4,250 on the line now.
Turns out I had a good miss on this one.
Hole 14, 312 feet. Allegedly.
200 and 300?
200 and 300, very tricky hole. Yeah, add those together. It's like 300 feet straight downhill. Short tee, you're basically at the gap now. You can see the basket, which is nice. 2 over par, 15, pretty easy from the short tee. Realistically, every hole out is pretty easy to par at least, and there's several birdie opportunities, and you finish with an eagle opportunity. So they're in a fine spot, just can't have anything catastrophic happen or imposter activities happen, so.
Flip. Get through. That's fine. Yeah, that's a par. I was hoping that after taking a ginormous gash, that was going to give me a little more flip.
I do not like that Trevor just said that he hoped the gash in his disc would turn it into like a flippier disc. That was really weird because like a small gash is not going to turn it that much flippier. Just a little suspicious to me. I'm going to hold on to that just a little bit.
Skid. All right. Good shot. Yeah.
That's a good par.
480-foot par 4 here, dead straight away, just kind of follows this up the hill. Nothing really to worry about except for the woods on the right or left. There's no OB or anything. I mean, they're at 2 over right now. They play for par here. I feel pretty confident in their abilities, so this is a chip, 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 tap out.
Yeah, this is a good shot. That's fine.
Yep, good shot.
Get over, get over, get over.
Oh, it's getting over.
That's fine.
Yep, good shot.
Even if I throw like a lofty putt that's just gonna land flat.
I think that's fine too.
There's no. I'm not putting a lot of risk spin on
As
this.
long as you're confident in the 15-footer coming back.
I am.
Okay.
I'm not worried about a
That's
single
fine.
putt earlier.
Oh, amazing soft bid.
Can't question the result. They talk about it in football all the time, right? When you throw for it on 4th and 1 or something, or you guard the classic Seattle. You what's the play, Connor? Seattle, the Super Bowl.
It's the yeah.
So he goes, rolls out right, throws it, clearly a running down, throws it. They lose the Super Bowl on it. Everyone makes fun of him for it. This is one of those situations where, if they would have executed, like if Gary makes that putt, then he's the hero.
You gotta
That's
think
one of
if
those
you're.
hero or villain. It just depends on the result type moments. And right there, hero.
It's not unwise if he's just a player, not the imposter, and he has a look at Birdie here, and he knows that his lofty bid isn't going to give him a bad comebacker. It's not a bad idea
It's
to
just
go
a risk that
because
if-
right now the imposter's hole can break this whole challenge, so
Yes.
that makes it even more difficult
That
for
is
the
true.
imposter if the imposter
But
can
it
go
is
wild.
also.
It does make him look more like
That's
the
what I'm
imposter.
saying. That's the risk as the player is like.
It would have really made him look like the imposter if he
If that
missed
would've
15
rolled.
long,
If he would've
and then he
hit-
missed the
yeah.
15-footer. Then it would have
But
been
hey,
bad.
you know what? Laid it up. Well, he didn't lay it up. Par. 280-foot par 3. They have 2 strokes to play with here. That was Gary's last hole, if I'm doing my math correct. Everyone else has 1 hole remaining. Realistically, with 2 strokes to play with, they can afford a double bogey or 2 singular bogey holes. The imposter still has power. Really what they're playing with is they've built this pot up to $4,250. None of that matters if they don't figure out who the imposter is. So there's a lot of pressure both on these last few holes and on them as a team to figure out how to make this vote count. This is just a par 3, 280-foot chip forehand. With my forehand power, I'd be throwing like a D1 because I need a distance driver to get it there and just kind of ripping it on forehand, letting it cruise over there. Joel looks like he's going with a pyro. That also works. He has more power than me. Realistically, par here, it just puts it in Mikey and Trevor's hands, and you can trust them with 17 and 18. Both are very scoreable holes if they play it well. So.
Oh, that can just get
through.
Okay. That came out so early. So much hyzer. That is scramble time. Time to make some eggs. How you like them, Connor? How you like your eggs?
Over easy.
That's easy. I can do that. I'm really good at making eggs.
I never felt like you couldn't do it.
I'm beaming if you can't tell.
Trevor got us into conversation. He's like, where'd your head at right now? And I said, you know what? I said, I'm not thinking Mikey. I'm having a hard time with Joel, but I'm looking at scores. Joel's the only one who's over, but I made it very clear, I'm not thinking about you. Joel comes up to me, walking up the fairway the next hole. He's like, Trevor just came to me and said, you're gunning for Mikey. Like, is that right? And I'm like, no.
He was trying to test. He came up to me and said he's going to tell you that because I trust Joel, like, probably to a fault at this point.
Yeah, he's the person I've been the closest to. That's why I want your opinion, because I feel like I'm so close to him that if he is tricking us, I can't see it.
I'm too close.
Cause like
I'm basically all in on trusting him.
So am I.
And I haven't been close enough to y'all's group to.
Joel and I, we've stayed up at night talking about stuff. He and I have a lot in common. We talked about like our upbringing in the church and stuff, and how like we want to leave this thing feeling like we've represented our character.
That's what's done it for me. Like he knew who my dad was, and I was like, dang, okay, so he's got a good background.
Right now, the fact that like what Trevor told me about if we're close to the line, we can spot the imposter. I feel like his rock shot on that one hole, like that was a underthrown miss.
He said that he thought it was going to play more understable because it had a gash in it. I'm like, a gash isn't going to make it that much more understable.
Yeah. Plus, the other thing for me is, if I'm Trevor, I'm sitting here thinking, I've got hole 18, and all we have to do is let Joel and Gary miss their lines, and he may have to do very much.
I think at this point, the imposter's probably just happy. That's what I think. I think the imposter's happy with what they got, and they just want to make it.
I feel
risky.
I feel comfortable right now that it's Trevor, unless like you or Joel go into a maniacal laughter and throw it OB. For me, it's Trevor 100%.
So I was between you and Trevor, and I basically told Joel I just trust his opinion, but I wanted to talk to you as well because I just haven't talked to you enough.
No, I'm determined to come out of this thing. That's why I'm not good at like lying games. I just can't. I can't get into it.
In this game, because I put myself up to potentially having to lie, which I don't think I could. I expected it'd be bad for foundation.
Oh yeah, I expected to be out early because I wasn't gonna play the game as much with people, and so I was just like, I just need to play well so that the play speaks on its own.
Mentally, I'm gonna lock in on Trevor. And I think I need to talk to Joel about you and say that I really don't think it is you.
I also don't think, and this is no offense to Joel, I don't think he's skilled enough to know how to miss high and hit the basket.
He's the lowest skilled person out here, but he's been really trying. I'm telling you, he's been trying the whole time.
He comes up and he's like asked about the shot, and he's just like, I just want to be confident. No, he doesn't want to play bad. He wants to, and he's nervous.
Right.
He's nervous.
Same with me, and so I really understand that.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
Dude, go in. Great shot. Great shot.
Great shot. Yeah. Oh. Yes, good putt, Joel.
What I need from you is to look me in the eyes, tell me the truth.
Gotcha. When I flipped over that disc, it said player. I knew what it said because I was a player. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be the imposter. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. I'm out here to have fun. And honestly, I give a rip about the money. I'm passionate about this. This is where I want to be. I'm not the imposter. Everything in me, I'm not, I hate the whole like swear on your family, your kids, stuff like that. But honestly, I would be doing a disservice to who I am as a person if I told you that I wasn't and I was. I'm not the imposter.
Trevor told me that you were talking about me. That's what he said.
No, sir. I went to Mikey as soon as that was over. He and I had our side back there, and I told him exactly what I told Trevor. I told him what you told me, and I said, I'm not going for Mikey. I'm not going for you. And that's what I even said to Mikey. I said, if Trevor comes over and he presses me, what direction do you want me to push him in? And Mikey said, push him towards me, because then if Joel and I vote for him and you vote for him, then there's nothing that's going to happen.
All right, and last thing, I made Mikey do this too.
Yeah.
This is for the camera here too.
Yep.
Pinky promise.
Oh, 100%.
All right, we're locked in. We're locked in, people.
Locked in.
Heart's racing. Like I said, gonna be sick.
All right, we're on hole 17. We're sitting at 3 over par, meaning they have 1 more to give. This is intense. I'm not gonna lie to you, because now the pressure's built. Where the pressure's no longer building, the pressure is built. 3 over, 2 to play.
I'm sorry, but these lines just continue to be great.
I was a part of all the line building. Me, Connor, Silas, Brad, we all had parts in it. So I don't want to feel too prideful, but I mean, wow, what a job we did. Par 4 here, it snakes to the right. There's kind of 2 fairways. You can get pretty far up there if you want off the tee. It can be a birdie hole, but it can also be a bogey hole. I mean, we're in the woods, so a lot of things can happen. So it's gonna be an intense and interesting finish, and then obviously the best part, the table talk and the vote. All right, things are gonna get spicy.
Make us a par. Don't give me pressure.
It's all good. So I'm feeling like I like the right fairway more. I was thinking throw them in on hyzer, basically kind of aim at that kind of weird tree in front of me on hyzer. Hopefully it flips up to flat. Yeah, I'm liking the feel of that.
That's good. That's really good.
That should be okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Come on, Mikey.
All right.
I honestly think I'm fine.
Yep, just sit now. That's fine. It's a putt.
It's a long putt.
Sorry. Yep, tap that up.
Sorry, guys.
You're fine. You're fine.
Pressure's turning up. What a line.
Turn it up, Billy.
Silas, dude. Come on.
Give it that.
Yeah, good putt.
It all comes down to this, literally.
Gosh,
Hole
dude, I'm
18,
freak out.
672 foot par 5. Where they are at right now, if they par this hole, they hit the line. They win today. Win the day, am I right?
Yep.
If they miss this hole, the imposter gets $500. So if they bogey, $500 the imposter. If they par, they hit the line. No OB, we're playing normal New London. No OB, par 5 from the short tee. Any other circumstance, really easy. This circumstance, pretty darn tough. See what T-Stop's got for him.
I'll throw something that won't get too stable on me, because I'm worried about the skip. Like it is, as much as this tee is.
Right, you could go mid.
Yeah, you
could go mid.
You could
go mid, and that gets rid of the skip completely.
Put the pressure on the second shot more than just the first one.
Okay.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking if I keep it out of the woods, I will have a layup for par. Right. If I throw it in the woods, then I'm gonna have to make a putt to make par. Sit down now. Oh, please.
It's on the edge.
Okay. I think I still have a hyzer around the trees.
On the edge.
I think I still have a hyzer around the trees.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like.
Yep. Now sit.
That's great. That's fine.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great spot. Great spot.
Kind of an open high.
How did that? Oh, that kind of flipped up a little bit. Oh, I didn't turn it enough. Just drop. Okay. I think it's still a jump. I think it's still just a layup. It dropped.
You got this.
It didn't go all the way in.
Left, right?
No, it didn't. It didn't go all the way up. There you go.
There's up.
That should be the line hit. That should be the line hit. So I mean, I don't envy them. I don't envy what they're about to go through.
No.
Trying to figure out who the heck it is. Because they hit the line, so they now have $4,250 if they can vote the imposter out. If not, they have 0, and the imposter has $2,300. It all comes down to this final vote.
I want to start because I feel like, to me, it seems pretty obvious that everybody seems to kind of be going against me at this point. So here's what I want to say about that. If that is how you all feel, and if I thought that was how things were leaning, I would have 0 motivation to make par on the last hole. If I knew I was dead to rights, that's $500 easy dollars. Who cares if I give myself up? I had every power in the world to make bogey in that hole any way I chose, and I made par. Meanwhile, I feel like I just also want to say that there has been a lot more instigation coming from other people, and I just want to ask you to consider that we only have one chance at this. We have a 25% chance. Just because somebody has been the aggressor and brought things to people doesn't mean it's not them going right back. I know everybody knows that. I just want to bring it to everybody's attention and just remind you that once again, if I were the imposter, there was $500 literally in my pocket, and it didn't even have to look that crazy. Making a bogey, we literally bogeyed 16 and 17. I made a double earlier today. Like, we all had our bad holes. Gary, you played really well, but I just want to say that. That's what I have to say.
I want to put this out there. I played pretty bad I shot 3 over by myself, not how I wanted to out. That is just kind of like they've been saying, that's pretty much playing to my rating. I really didn't feel much pressure on myself before this round, but then like going through it, the more I missed, the more pressure I felt. I feel terrible for it. I feel terrible that I almost cost us that. I just hope that earlier rounds, even when I wasn't playing great, like I had a lot of redeeming moments, I just hope that that's enough to garnish some trust. And I was one of the people walking around talking just because I was so stressed out the entire round. I was like panicking. I'm still panicking. Like I'm panicking not just because I feel like I'm kind of under a microscope right now, also because I so badly want to get the right person. I trust Mikey, I trust Gary, and I trust you a little bit. Like I trust everyone, at least. Like it's a little bit varying, but it's going to be so difficult to walk up there and make that decision. And I can't really say right now who I'm going to go for because I don't know if I'm 100% gay.
Yeah. So I can tell you, starting the round today, feeling the weight of the imposter still being here was a lot. And I know not all of us are super emotional, but like almost as soon as that was said, Trevor, you were very kind of like quick to just start hopping on strategy, whereas it was still sinking in for me. I'm going off of kind of like reactions to things, like being part of the players. I feel a lot of weight just in general of the things that have happened. And so I'm looking, and I don't want to be unfair because Gary also, I felt like he was very quiet as well. And that might not be the best place to look. I don't know. You guys tell me. Like, when you heard that the imposter was there, was it just like, okay, let's just gather ourselves and start? Did you start going straight into like tactics? Like, what was that?
So I mean, I don't feel like I was making any reaction out of character. I think that's a fine to like analyze, and I was looking at people's faces when he first said it. Honestly, the first thing I did is I started looking at everybody's face because we talked about in the parking lot before, we knew a possibility was going to be that he was going to say that. So the second it happened, I would think I was half expecting it, and that is why, like, half expecting is in there's a 50-50 chance, and I did believe very strongly that if the imposter was still there, they were going to say it, because that just made sense to me the way this show has gone. And so I was immediately looking at everybody's eyes to see where people's reactions were. But then, yeah, I mean, as soon as we got the T order or whatever, like, yeah, of course I went to strategy because that's where I just went next. But that's what I was doing when it was set. It did not catch me off guard.
Right, I'm not just locking in on that. That was more like an observation I had. Like, by the time I was coming back, you'd already started asking me questions about strategy. I was like,
at the end of the day, guys, like, we all have to understand, I think it is important to understand as a group that we are grasping at straws. Like, we are all going to have to make the best guess that we can and that we can stomach. It does feel like a long shot right now, at least from my perspective. I feel like I'm having a very tough time narrowing in on somebody, but that's just the situation we've been put in.
I am a very, like you said, I was kind of quiet too. I'm a very big, like, visualization person. That's why one of the first things I did last night was put on a video of New London shorts, because I like to visualize the course. I spent a lot of time last night saying, if the imposter's still in, here's what I have to think about. And so when I heard that, it's like, this is what we prepared for mentally last night, and I know I have to come out and play well and just be the person I've been up to this point, because that's all I can do. It's a product of my character. My wife tells me all the time I overthink a little bit, but I'm a big visualization person. So for me, I'm not an explosive reactor. I don't feel the nerves or anxiety because I prepared last night for the anxiety of the moment today. That's just the kind of person I am. I was a basketball coach, so I did it all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm very used to pressure situations.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I don't want to read too much into how I would react versus how others react, because I know we're all built different. It's hard for me to, like, me personally, I trust Joel too much. I'm just going to throw that out there. And I trust Gary a decent amount now. And Trevor's freaking good at these games, bro. Like, he just is. So that's where I'm held up currently.
I feel like, here's the last thing I want to say. Listen, I feel like a lot of people are putting that on me, and I just want to say, like, you got to be willing to bet the 1 in 4 shot on that merit, then that's what you have to live with.
Mikey.
It's just the fact that I've played before.
Bless my heart.
All right, I'm about to call them up one by one to make the most important vote of their life. I don't know if they know this or not, but I'm going to fill you in. The imposter's vote here will not count. If the vote splits, or however it shakes out, the imposter's vote won't count. That wouldn't make it fair. It would make it too easy for the vote to split. 2 of the non-imposters need to be in agreement on one person. Whether that person's the imposter or not, who knows? We'll find out. But I'm going to go get Mikey as the first person to cast his vote.
I have to go off of my knowledge of every person here, and a man of the people, at least for this whole series. For that reason, I just don't want to overthink it. I have thought Trevor pretty much all day today. I hope that that does not hurt Gary or Joel, depending on who they pick. This would be crazy, but this is my final vote.
I had to think strategically, break it down almost mathematically a little bit for people. You know, Mikey's talked a lot about what he plans on doing if he wins. And that's a bold strategy to outright say, if I get money, it's going to go to these people and do these things and all that kind of stuff. I've not known Mikey long enough to know whether or not that's real, but he seems like such a genuine person.
I trust you, Joel. If you trust Trevor, then
I don't know.
You gotta do what he does.
The thing is, when you came over and you said though that Gary was talking about me, that
I wasn't lying about that. I promise.
I mean, you still
wasn't.
could be lying.
But I don't know. The problem is, I don't know if Gary was doing that as a smoke screen anyways, because he may have done that as well. He is the one that was approaching me the most. Honestly, this is what I said about Gary. At this point in the game, the imposter feels the least amount of pressure, because at the very least,
I believe that
they're going
like
on with
the
a lot
whole
of money.
time.
And Gary has played the best golf over the last few rounds of anybody, and I believe that's because he doesn't feel any pressure. But that's the most concrete thing I've gotten from him. Plus, I think he's been trying to send me down certain trails.
Okay. Well, for me, it's between you and Gary, and at least you guys know who I voted for now.
I spent a lot of time talking with Joel, and I feel like he and I line up with a lot of our like viewpoints on things. And you know, we had a moment in this round where he's like, "I need you to look me in the eye and tell me this." And like, it was a very, very serious moment. And so, the only thing that did it for me, it is what it is. There was a moment this round where I had a one-on-one with Trevor. Trevor and I were kind of talking about how I felt, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know that I really feel anything from Mikey. And I just am unsure about anybody else. A hole later, Joel walks up and says that Trevor just told him that I was gunning for Mikey. And I'm like, I did not say that. And then later, Joel said that he heard that I was gunning for him. And I'm like, I have been consistent this whole time in saying that I expected Joel after the first half of the first round, and that was it. I have never suspected Mikey. So I have done nothing but say those things. And so to hear this twist up, the only thing I could think of is that Trevor would be the person. But he had hole 18. He could have absolutely blown that. He could have had a content moment and just banged it off the cage and said, haha. And he's trying to make the point down there that why would he do that? But like at this point, passing this vote and getting double of 1,000 is more than getting 1,500. It's been a blast playing with you. You're a fantastic person and a lovely individual, but sorry, Trev, it's you.
There's been a huge flip of the switch during this round. When the imposter was announced to still be with the group, I think everybody went into panic, fight or flight mode. I don't know, like a lot of people ended up turning towards me, I think. I mean, I'll say Mikey just went back and literally told me and Joel that he voted for me. He literally told me to my face.
I voted Trevor, and I don't know if that changes y'all's votes, but
You're a snake.
I
hope you're happy. Because I just don't think he trusts me at this point, which I think is a little unfair. And I mean, I presented the best case I had to them, which I feel like they're just ignoring. But if I were the imposter and I'm playing hole 18, I know there's already suspicion on me because during this entire round, people are literally targeting me the whole round. Why on earth am I making par on that hole? Like if I know I'm dead to rights, which I've known since like hole 3, why would I make par? That's $500 easy dollars, and then whatever. Who cares if I get voted off? Like I feel like everybody is getting tricked. I definitely don't think it's Mikey. I think everybody agrees Mikey's safe. Between Joel and Gary, I kind of have had to like pick out a theory of like what I thought was the most sound, and I think what I've landed on, pretty confident. Bottom line is going into these final few rounds, especially today, the imposter has the least amount of pressure. They've already made a ton of money. What's the worst case scenario? They get voted off, they still keep their money, whoop-de-doo. Therefore, I feel like the player who was playing the best, being Gary, I believe he played the best and threw a lot of high pressure shots. I think that actually points potentially towards the imposter. I also know he was going to Joel and Mikey to try to get them to vote me, whereas then he was going to me saying he suspected Joel. Like I saw a lot of things that I would expect out of somebody just not under a lot of pressure, but just trying to stir things up. And I also think that I did start seeing some nerves as well in maybe some of the social interactions where like, as much as there isn't a ton of pressure, like I think he knows he's somewhat safe, and like doubling up is insane. So I'm pretty sure I'm cooked. And like, it's a really, really, really big bummer to get this far and like contribute to the team. Like literally, I could have just taken $500 from the team by just making bogey, and then they're gonna do me like this, and that's pretty upsetting. But this is just my last vote.
Going into the round, I was hoping so badly that there was no imposter left, so I was kind of freaked out when he said that there was.
The imposter has made it to the finals.
But before we even got here, I knew that if there was, my gut had narrowed it down to 2 guys. It was Gary and Trevor. Gary has been very sincere ever since we started talking. He's a great guy. I know a lot of his values. I know a lot of his family values. The thing is, he's just been a little over sincere. That's kind of where the suspicion comes from. And I know that because he's a big family guy, he could just be playing the game because he cares more about his family than he cares about us here. And that's valid, that's fair.
It's like, I think about stuff like a win and a split. That's daycare costs. That's important.
Trevor plays this game great. Every time I watch him play, he plays it great. My gut, I wish I could say, goes one way or the other, but it's split down the middle. And I have a solid feeling that I know who each of those guys voted for. And now I'm left with a decision. If I'm right, do I go Trevor and it's, 3-1 and we take that chance? Or if I believe that Trevor voted Gary, then do I go Gary and, split vote? If it's anything like yesterday, they're both gone. And that leaves me and Mikey, the 2 people I trust the most. I trust myself and I trust Mikey. And with that being said, I gotta do the safest thing, even if it's not the right thing, I guess. And that's gonna be to vote Gary. I did it in round 2, and I hope I'm right. And if not, I will apologize till the end of my life. Every day I'll send him a text apologizing. So you have my word. Sorry, Gary.
Gentlemen, the votes are in. It's time to find out who is going home with the money. Y'all will approach the bag. You will open this putter pocket. It is either full of money or full of audio foam. Either way, it's packed, is basically what I'm saying. You will unzip it. If money pours out, congratulations, you've successfully voted out the imposter, and 3 of you are going home with money. If it's not, the imposter has doubled his purse, and the rest of you are walking home empty-handed. Unzip the bag. Congratulations. Let's go! Mikey, Gary, Joel, you're walking home with $1,400.
Go.
Let's go. Let's go. You played a fantastic game. $1,150 is yours, sir.
That's crazy.
Good job, guys. Well played. Good job.
Props to you.
Dude.
Good game.
Oh my gosh, Trevor.
Props to
Oh
you
my
for
gosh, dude.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Imposter Disc Golf Show, the first ever presented by Prodigy Disc. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors for making this possible, making these guys a little bit richer. We're gonna send it off with a little money dance, boys. And I want celebration. Let's go! What a relief.
Which, by the way, I am following through with what I said. I'm gonna give the other 2 guys that we voted off incorrectly, I'll split mine with them.
You know what, Trevor, I think it's only right, as you just got voted off, slap us out of the show.
See you next year, boys.